Please watch to the end. Comment and respond to other people's comments.
A man is facing charges after police say he killed someone in an Orlando road rage shooting.
Yeah, it happened this morning on East Colonial Drive near Lake Baldwin Lane. West News Tonight, Gabriel spoke with an Uber driver who was nearby when that shooting happened.
26-year-old Nicholas Kerosio landed behind bars Monday morning for allegedly shooting and killing a man in a road rage altercation. The victim, David Sly, was 30 years old.
But I was with the passenger, and then I just heard like 5 gunshots.
An Uber driver who wanted to protect his identity says he was with a passenger when he heard the gunfire. His dashcam video captured it on East Colonial Drive near Lake Baldwin Lane just before 6:30.
And I just stayed quiet because I don't want her to freak out.
As he kept driving, he saw a white car cutting lanes of traffic before coming to a stop in front of a pole. OPD says the suspect stayed at the scene before he was arrested. They found Sly with a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Westbound lanes on Colonial were closed for several hours until the white car was towed away. Several bullet holes were visible in the driver's side door. A second car was taken away for evidence.
Me as an Uber driver, I'm always, taking care of, how I drive and everything, because I know times are crazy right now. People, they don't think, they just react, and that's my fear when I'm driving.
First brought you this story is breaking news at noon. The scene unfolding along the 4800 block of East Colonial Drive. That's near the Orlando Executive Airport. Now at 5, police just announcing they've arrested 26-year-old Nicholas Kerosio. He's being charged with first-degree murder for killing 30-year-old David Alexander.
On dash camera, it appears that nothing is out of the ordinary for a Monday morning until the first sound of a gunshot. It's faint and followed by 4 more. Watch again, this time in slow motion. You can see the white car veer from the left lane. Other drivers hit the brakes before it finally comes to a stop between Best Buy and Linda's La Cantina.
We're now learning more about the 30-year-old killed. Families say headed to his first day at a full-time job. The shooting happened yesterday morning along busy Colonial Drive in Orlando.
Orlando police say Nicholas Kerosio shot and killed David Sly.
We're required to have a pretrial detention hearing.
Tuesday afternoon, the 26-year-old faced a judge on a first-degree murder charge. An arrest affidavit states Kerosio told officers at the scene he was the one who shot Sly, who was behind the wheel of this white Impala. He claims Sly cut him off. The two exchanged words, and when the light turned green and Sly didn't move, he grabbed his gun from the glove box. The victim's uncle says Sly was on his way to work, his first day full-time at his job, when he was killed. His family says he was a loving father who will be missed. Word traveled fast during the morning commute.
I just saw police everywhere with gloves, taking pictures, videos.
If you pass by here on Colonial, you can see what's left behind, the tire marks on the grass and sidewalk where the car went off the road. Debris scattered all along the ground, leading to the place where it finally came to a rest by this pole. Video from Sky 6 shows another view when investigators taped off the surrounding area. They later towed the white car away and a second sedan in a nearby parking lot. Orlando police say the man who was shot was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital, and the other person involved stayed on scene.
The trial is underway for a man accused of a deadly road rage shooting here in Orlando. Nicholas Kerosio is charged with murder for shooting a man in rush hour traffic last year. West News' Bob Hazen was in court as jury selection started.
The accused killer is claiming he fired in self-defense. This morning in court, he rejected a plea from prosecutors and said he wants a jury to decide if he's guilty.
State of Florida versus
Nicholas Kerosio walked in freely, no shackles, for the start of his trial today. He's been out on bond, but if he's found guilty, he could end up behind bars for the rest of his life.
So if a jury convicts you, I can sentence you up to life plus 15. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
His lawyers say the Army veteran first fired a warning shot, then believed that Sly was reaching for his own gun, so he shot at his car. Kerosio is charged with second-degree murder. In court this morning, prosecutors offered him a deal, plead guilty, and get a 25-year minimum sentence.
Do you have any interest in accepting the plea offer?
No, ma'am.
His defense wants to use evidence from a toxicology report to suggest the victim may have been high on bath salts. Prosecutors say even if that is true, it's irrelevant because Kerosio could not have known it when he started shooting.
Also breaking, both sides have rested in the trial of a man accused in a deadly road rage shooting, and the jury has been sent home for the day.
The defendant, Nicholas Kerosio, took the stand in his own self-defense this afternoon. West 2's Sinai Gebregereges is joining us live outside of the courthouse tonight with more on his testimony. Sinai?
Yeah, he was the only witness called for the defense, and as you said, both sides have rested after the jury heard hours-long testimony from Nicholas Kerosio, who argues that he was in fear when he shot into a car several times, killing David Sly, who was 30 years old. And Kerosio said on that morning last January, he was heading to his grandmother's place when Sly cut him off in traffic on East Colonial near Lake Baldwin Drive. He claims he honked his horn, flashed his lights, and then there was a shouting match between the two of them. Kerosio says Sly blocked his car and wouldn't drive even after the light turned green. He argued he felt trapped, and that's what prompted him to grab his gun, get out of his car, and confront Sly.
I am now blocked in by a vehicle that does not, by a person who does not want to move their vehicle, and also by an angry person who I don't know what their intentions are. I wasn't the one driving recklessly that morning.
Okay. No, you were the person that shot somebody in the back of the head, right?
I'm the person who saved my life, who defended myself, sir.
Kerosio admitted to firing the shots, which were a total of 6. He said he aimed one at the ground as a warning, and then 5 shots were fired at Sly's car. One of the bullets hit and killed him. The evidence found that Sly did not have a gun and never got out of his car. The jury also watched a video this morning of Orlando police officers interrogating Kerosio, where he admitted that Sly didn't actually make any verbal threats. Now, the jury has been dismissed again. They will return tomorrow morning to hear closing arguments.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of second-degree murder as charged in the information.
Under the judge's instructions, the courtroom was silent. There were no visible emotions on both sides as the jury handed down a guilty verdict for Nicholas Kerosio.
Guilty of shooting at, within, or into an occupied vehicle as charged in the information.
When the victim's family left the courthouse, they declined an interview. Kerosio, who is 27, is convicted of shooting and killing 30-year-old David Sly in the middle of rush hour traffic. Video from last January shows Sly's car on East Colonial Drive near Lake Baldwin Lane. Attorneys say the victim was driving reckless and cut off a dark blue car that Kerosio was driving. They say after a shouting match, Sly blocked the defendant and wouldn't move. When Kerosio grabbed his gun, got out his car, and confronted Sly, he says he fired a warning shot, aiming the ground.
1.
Then 5 more shots were fired at Sly's car, with one of the bullets hitting and killing him.
If the gun would have stayed in the glove box the entire time, this would not have happened. He provoked it.
Kerosio said he shot in self-defense, afraid of what Sly would do when he saw the victim turning his head, appearing to reach for something.
Maybe he was ducking in that 3 seconds that he gave him from the first shot before the final shot.
Evidence found the victim did not have a gun, nor did he get out his car.
You also know that he had an illegal narcotic in his system, commonly referred to as bath salts.
Defense attorneys argued Sly's actions made Kerosio fear for his life.
The light cycles green, and David Sly doesn't move. Because what does that signal?
Did he do anything that made him legally deserve to die?